wonder how important meal timing is for weight loss. You have heard if you eat after 6 or 7 that you're going to be fatter because your body stores more fat at night. And it's better that you eat more meals, or that maybe you should fast more at certain times during the day, like in the morning. You've heard these things and it has confused you. I'm gonna tell you what you really should know about meal timing when it comes to weight loss. I'm Lee Agbo with Ultimate Performance. In this video, I will share how important meal timing is for weight loss. We will go into what you should really focus on and how this will play a role in your weight loss. And if you need to start prioritizing your meal timing more with your weight loss. So let's get into it first with the meal timing. So meal timing is thought to make sure that you're optimizing the times that you need to burn fat throughout the day to make sure that you are being in the deficit for weight loss. For weight loss, you have to be in the deficit. So while meal timing can play a role and importance as far as your eating strategies, just for your overall methods of staying within the calorie deficit, it has less of a role when it comes to burning the fat throughout the day. So if you need to get to, let's say, a deficit of eating 2,000 calories a day to meet your weight loss goal within your 3 to 6 month timeline, the 2,000 calories that's distributed throughout the day won't matter if you just eat it all during the day or at night. Overall, your body will still burn the same amount of calories as long as you're in a calorie deficit. So the thing that you need to focus on most important is prioritize overall the calorie deficit. The calorie deficit is going to be the most important thing. In weight loss, focus mostly on the macro things, not the micro things. And what I mean by that, the things that are the most important within your diet is what type of foods you're eating, how many calories you should be eating, understanding how to stay balanced with involving the foods that you like, but still being able to eat more of the foods that you should be eating, and understanding overall of how you're gonna do that. Are you meal prepping, or are you buying meals? Are you getting your meals through a meal prepping service? Different things like that are going to be the things that you really need to focus on. So first, understand the thing that's going to be most important, the macro things are the big things that are going to make the biggest factor into your weight loss. Then from there, you can start focusing on some of the nuances or the little things that are going to help, but it's going to make a less of a difference. We're talking about that 5 to 10% at most of making a difference. And that's what you want to do to make sure that you're doing your best, but you have to slowly focus on first the most important things, and then you can start focusing on things that are minor. So first off, within mealtime, understand that that isn't going to be more important than overall of how many calories that you should be eating per day, because that's going to determine if you're in a deficit or you're not losing body fat because you're not in a deficit, so you're not burning it. So that's going to play a part. Some of the things that don't matter as much is may store more fat at a certain time, but throughout the day, as long as I'm in a deficit, it's going to still equal the same amount no matter what time I eat during the day. So understand first off, the meal time is not going to play the biggest role in you losing weight, because overall your body is going to play the same way if it's at night or if it's during the day. So understand that first off. That's going to be the thing that you need to understand with meal timing, is it is not going to have a significant factor compared to how many calories that you need to eat per day. So you are in a calorie deficit. So remember that deficit means that's going to help you burn the fat off. So remember, you got to get to 3,500 calories to burn 1 pound of fat. So that's eating 2,000 calories per day, per week, and that's going to lead to you losing 1 to 2 pounds of body fat a week. Then that's what we need to focus on. So understand that first. Secondly, when it comes to meal timing, it does have a role as far as understanding what works within your schedule. So remember, your schedule is going to be different from mine to the client I'm working with to yours, because we all have different things in our life that can change. Also, it may be different from day to day. If you have more things to focus on, maybe a Monday compared to a Friday, those are different things you may have to factor in. So it could change when you're eating if you have different appointments that you need to get to, the changes within your kids having different things on different days. That's something you got to understand if you're traveling for work or for, of course, vacation or something like that. Those things can change your meal time and your different eating. So there's things that you do need to account for. I do believe meal timing has a role as far as within understanding when you should be eating that works for you. I know for some people, if they don't eat throughout the day, they can backload too many calories. That's something that you do need to be aware of. That's something that happens to you if you're someone that start getting really hungry at night. So now, because you haven't eaten as much, you're eating way more than you would have eaten if you would have distributed the different eating throughout the day. And that's something that you do need to be aware of. But if you're still understanding what we talked about first with it being overall in the calorie deficit that you need to be for the day. So like I said, if that's hypothetically 2,000 calories per day, if you do that, no matter when you eat, you're still going to be fine. You're still going to be on target to where you need to be within your weight loss goal. But there are things to be aware of if you're someone that understands that if I'm not eating at this certain time, then I'm eating way too many calories at this time because I'm so hungry. Now I'm just overeating where I shouldn't be. That's something to be aware of, because that can be a factor within that. So understand with the meal timing, it does play a role as far as understanding some individual things within yourself. If you're someone that typically snacks heavy at night because you haven't eaten enough, those are things to factor in, because then, yeah, that's going to overshoot your calories if you're someone that's backloading too many of your calories because you're not eating at a certain time. I know for many, they want to understand, well, how many meals should I be eating? Or if I don't eat in the morning, is that a problem? It can be something if it's overall getting you away from your target for the day. So understand how your meals will work within the target that you need to be for the day, because that will have a factor in overall being in deficit. So don't neglect that part as well. That's something to be aware of. And really, when it comes to meal timing, one thing to not forget as well is just understanding that the time that you eat throughout the day can factor into other things within what is going to work for yourself. So you do need to actually try to figure out what works best for you if you haven't ever really focused on your eating, because there's other things outside of just the calories that you need to understand. Sleep is something that you should understand how that could affect if you're someone eating at night. The reason I bring this up is I have worked with clients. Also, I talk about me not just being a weight loss coach, I'm a transformation coach. So that means we got to focus on everything within our health, because that's all going to play a role. It's like a chain link effect. So we know if you eat typically at night, that could affect your sleep. So if that's something you struggle with sleep, that's something that you need to be aware of. Understanding those different things with that as well, because if that's affecting your sleep, then you need to understand that also within exercise, right? Exercise, understand when you're exercising, that could have a role. Are you someone that's better with your workouts fasted? Fasted just means periods of time when you're not eating. Now for me, I work out fasted. That's what I'm typically doing at this point in time. And the reason I do is not because there's a benefit to working out fast, and that's another video we'll talk about. But the thing I do that for is just for me within my schedule. It works well for me, and I feel I still work out at the level I need to. If I'm eating or I'm fasted, it doesn't make a difference for me. But for some people, they want to eat before their workout because they feel better during the workout, or that just works in within their schedule. So outside of, we know the meal time, what we just talked about, within understanding how you need to target overall your deficit, understanding, as we just talked about, the schedule. But the third is the outside factors that you need to realize as well. So your sleep, your workout, are those affecting those different things within that? Because these are two factors that are important as well, because you want your workouts to help you. So if you do need to change your eating around that, that's something to be aware of. Don't be too caught up on your window of time. We know as we start to make changes. We need to eat more protein. As long as you're good for the day, don't be too worried about that. But the things that you need to just realize is overall is what works for you within your schedule, how you're going to hit your target for the day, and is it affecting any outside factors without the deficit? And we're just talking about like exercise and sleep, because if that is, that will still play a role within what you're doing through weight loss. So don't neglect those. These are things that you need to be aware of when it comes to meal timing. Just remember, meal timing isn't a macro, it's more of a micro. It is important, don't get me wrong, it is important. It will make a difference to fully be able to make the biggest impact and results. It's something that you do need to understand, and something I work with in my clients and working within myself as well. So I understand it still has a role, but remember, it's not going to be more important than the target for the day of how many calories you need to be in a deficit. So let me know, how have you looked at your meal timing? Has this been something that has played a factor where it kind of caused more issues for you, or something you haven't really focused on but now you're going to? Just let me know. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe.